and that's what made me feel like I was alone and I was going through which I thought at first that I was going through the same exact pain, but it was different. It was the exact opposite rather than the mistake I did last time. Hey guys, Ethan here. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys seen me before, welcome back. If you guys are new, welcome. So, before the start of my break, which was, oh man, which is August, and I was going through a lot more attacks than the last time I got through. And turns out evil was much more desperate to try to make me suffer than before. And I thought I thought I was going through the same motions like a while back, because I remember that I went through so much pain that I went all out of my ways, and the mistake was I went completely out of control, and I wasn't really responsible for my actions. And I've learned my lesson from that, and this time though, on August, I thought I was going through the same exact motions, but turns out that wasn't really the case. And pretty much that was the darkness intentions, which I was like, darn, evil truly got me there. But what really concerned me the most was that every time I was on the other side, though, I felt very lonely, and I thought I would not really get much hope. And it turns out that Spirit responded to me in some ways that I never could have imagined that this would happen to me. So, what Spirit did to me was incredibly remarkable that I still remember, though. Because every time, like, Spirit would try to tell me, like, I'm not truly alone, though, which, like, I would always be in the astral realm or some other realms on the other side, and I always feel like I'm the only one out there. I'm not really the one out there, which is kind of weird to me because it always felt like I was the only spirit lingering on the other side, but it turns out that my guides are still there, but I just don't see them. And one of the ways that Spirit manifested was that this was one of the most incredible manifestations I ever got from Spirit. And I didn't think my Spirit guides can actually do this, though. Because I'm actually the one used to kind of like, I'll be waiting for an actual being to kind of manifest. More likely, like, for example, like an angel or some other type of being that would manifest, though. But Spirit actually sent one of my guides to manifest a very beautiful white dove that was flying around in the front of my house, though. And I was actually on the front of the house in the astral realm, and I was just waiting for one of my guides to appear, and turns out that the white dove was flying around, and I was like, what is that? I'm like, that can't be, though. And what I immediately thought was that, and I was actually correct on this, was that one of my guides manifests as a white dove, and I actually see like like beautiful white energy and a little bit of gold, like yellow energy-ish, flying around it. So I was like, that has to be one of my guides. And I was like, okay. And turns out that, like, to me, I felt like it wasn't really enough, but then Spirit had a lot more coming in, which there was a lot more than that, just that. The next thing I got was that I actually had an a hummingbird that flew by next door. And I was like, what is this hummingbird flying so close to me though? I don't usually see other natural creatures come that close. And it turns out that that was a way for Spirit to communicate with me. And the other natural creature that also came by was a hawk. And it was actually crying out loud. And I'm like, I don't usually get a hawk near me. I don't usually get that. And it turns out that it was another message. And the message that I was completely caught off guard, that it meant that Spirit was telling me to stay strong. I was like, how did I not know this before though? I never had that type of communication with Spirit. And the last thing I want to mention is that I had another bird that flew by so close to me in the backyard, and it turns out it was actually a red Robin Hood. And I get red Robin Hoods, and sometimes blue jays come by, but this red Robin Hood bird actually came right behind me, and there was a tree right next to me though, and I was like, okay, you kind of scared me because I thought you were going to attack me, but that was just a way for Spirit to communicate with me, so I thought I was going to get attacked. I kind of overreacted for a second there. But yeah, Spirit pretty much sensed my concern that I felt too alone, and I kind of felt sad at the same time, but pretty much Spirit had its own way of trying to, bring the happiness and bring the faith back into my mind. But that's not the only reason why that Spirit did that. The other thing I want to mention here is that while I was dealing with more negative entities, trying to get them off my back because goddamn, these negative spirits are just so annoying, and that's what made me feel like I was alone and I was going through which I thought at first that I was going through the same exact pain, but it was different. It was the exact opposite, rather than the mistake I did last time. Man. Things have been really crazy on my Lightward journey, and it turns out that Spirit has a way for me to kind of get me back on the journey, make sure I don't lose faith from my spirit guides. And I always be grateful to Spirit and for my spirit guides. And I don't really know how I'm going to communicate with my guides because I'm still trying to, but this is just another alternative way of how Spirit would give me these validations that, that I still got a spiritual team with me though. I still got a team with me, that I'm not truly alone. But anyway, that's all I had to give you guys though, that pretty much that Spirit kind of realized my own concern, and now I'm not truly alone at all. And there's always a way for Spirit to kind of get through to me, even if I'm at the lowest point in my journey. Anyway, love much of you guys, and as always, stay shine out there. I'll see you guys next time.